What is up, YouTube? Holy crap, it has been so long since I put out a moto vlog. Even my internet girlfriend from Canada missed me. Have you missed me? I know I've missed you. And more importantly, and don't feel a little put off by this, but I've missed the bike a little bit more. Hopefully you can understand that, especially if you ride. You know how it is. I had a week where I was down in Orlando for business, and then a week of really crappy weather where really all my bike did was just stay underneath of the tarp. I am out on a glorious afternoon. It's supposed to get up to 65 degrees now. It's probably pretty close to that at the very least. Made the red light. There's a camera right there. And a little bit's happened since the last time we all spoke. I've done a little more work on the striker. I put on 2 more lights. I put one right above the motor mount, actually on the top side of the motor mount, looking down in the front. And I also put one in the front, just behind the forks to illuminate the front fender when the lights are on. I have 4 more lights left, and I think that based off looking at everything, I definitely got to put 2 on the rear fender, and I'm thinking that I might extend the ones that are on the body underneath the frame of the bike that illuminate the underground, because, you know, as I see this in practice in the dark, you know, it's just like a little spot like that, and the bike is nice and long, and I want the light to kind of reflect how big the bike actually is. So I think I'm going to extend that out a little bit more and make it really cool. Right now I'm actually on my way over to my friend Will's house. I bought an air horn. I bought a Willow Big Boy, Willow Bad Boy. I think it's model 619. It was like maybe 40 or 50 bucks. But the compressor is built into the horn. Hopefully it should mount in the default location, but I may see if we can move that, just because, you know, with the way it works, the sound hole for the horn points down into the ground, and that's done essentially so you don't get any water inside and around and then into the electronics. You know, these things aren't supposed to last forever, but if I can mount that more towards the front center of the bike, like above the radiator, I think I'm going to see if we can do that. But if we can't find the parts, I'll take it as it is, just because pretty much with every modification I've done, my goal has been to be seen and be heard. While we're there, I'm going to see if I can finally do that drill modification. Essentially, with the strikers, the stock exhaust is actually pretty quiet, which is nice if you live in a suburban neighborhood, which I actually kind of do. But it sucks if you want to be heard. You know, the old adage, loud pipes save lives. So it's a 2 and a 2, and then in the back you have the tailpipe, and there's the muffler inside. And what a lot of people will do in order to give it a little bit more sound without necessarily affecting the back pressure is they will take, and just in the back they'll do 4 half-inch holes to open up the volume. So I'm going to see if we can do that as well, and that will be a good thing. I tried to do it when I did the first maintenance video for the striker. Let me get ahead of this guy. He's just taking his time today. That's fine, but I'm kind of in a hurry. So I tried to do the drilling on in the video where I was doing the very first maintenance on my bike, and the drill bits that my friend Bob had, who helped me with the oil change and the filter change and the spark plugs. His bits were kind of dull to the point where I couldn't really get it to bite in. So what I may do is, tap it in a little bit harder, start out with a starter bit, and then and then go ahead on in and make it bigger with the 1/2-inch bit. So I also brought a brand new set of bits, so they'll be nice and sharp, and hopefully let me get into that. The last thing I did on my bike earlier this week, it was really cloudy, and it's still one of those days when I couldn't ride, so I said, I might as well do some work on the bike. I ordered the Cyclops headlamp bulb for my headlight, and they had two options. The older model was a 3500 lumen LED bulb, and that was like, I think maybe $65, $55, something like that. And if you don't know what a lumen is, it's a unit of measurement for how bright something is, and usually you'll find it in light bulbs, those overhead projectors and whatnot. But then for the 2017 model, they had a 7,000 lumen headlamp, and I'm like, ooh, well, how much is that? Well, it was only like $5 or $10 more, so I'm like, yeah, sure, what the hell. So I ordered that. It comes with a fan, it comes with a heatsink, it comes with everything you already need pre-wired. All you got to do is just make it fit, which wasn't too hard at all. With the Striker in particular, usually I have a rubber boot on the back side of the headlight, and that kind of keeps all the electronics from getting wet and stuff. I had to leave the rubber boot off because, and I don't think you actually wind up needing it because, normally the socket is right in the back of the bulb. Well, with this, it's actually a wire, and it kind of goes back further, so that whole assembly can stay inside of that, the headlight containment case, whatever. I don't even know what the hell you call it. And so I got it in there, and it also has a retaining clip to kind of keep it. It's like a spring, pretty much, to help keep it in place. And then I had to bend a little bit in order to get it to fit around the massive heat sink and fan that was built into the back of the bulb to keep it cool. So I go ahead and test it. My bike's facing the apartment building opposite of the parking lot from my building, and it's like maybe 6, 7 o'clock at night. People are trying to have dinner, and here's me flicking high beam, low beam, high beam, low beam. And I can see the apartment complex where I live, the upstairs apartments have these huge bay windows, so I can see people in there who put their dining room tables by these bay windows, just sitting there looking out, trying to figure out what the hell I was doing, because they just saw me flashing high beam, low beam, high beam. It is so freaking bright. Hoping to get a little bit of footage of that today, so you can see just exactly how bright it is. It's kind of funny. I'm on a Facebook group called Delaware Bike Life, and it's just a bunch of bikers, mostly sports bikes, but they'll get together every week on Sundays and go for rides, out to a restaurant, out to a bar, whatever. And they just chat about in general. And when I posted that I had finally got my headlamp bulb updated, they're like, oh, dude, you are not going to get anybody to ride behind you because you're just going to sit there and blind them the whole time with that bulb. I thought it was kind of funny, but I'm good with that. Like I said, my whole point when I'm on this bike is to be seen and to be heard. Once I get this horn on, that'll pretty much be complete. Anything else I do, if I do anything else, will be purely for fun. The only other thing I've really considered doing, I'm kind of, maybe this is just the bike, maybe it's just me, because I am a new rider, and I like the front ends of sport bikes. I don't like the front ends of, the cruisers that have the full-on bat wings at the front. I like something in between. So I've been staring at this one web page that has bullet cowls, which is, just the part that covers the headlight and comes up a little bit. And I'm like, I'm just looking to make it a little bit more beefier in the front, because I'm disappointed at what it looks like, or what it might look like in the rear view mirror. I like the way it looks from the side, I like the way it looks from the back, but from the front, not so much. Cool, check that out. You can see the military planes launching from Newcastle County Airport. There's 1, 2, 3. That's awesome. In any case, guys, that's my update for today. I just wanted to say hello. It's been a while. I've missed you all. I've missed doing this. I missed being on the road, and I've certainly missed motovlogging. I don't think I'll miss editing this down too much, but hey, you know, it's kind of part and parcel with motovlogging. I will see you guys later. If you haven't got a motorcycle yet, get yourself into an MSF class. Get your endorsement if you don't have it already. Go out and get a bicycle, because it is going to be a beautiful year to ride this year, I think. So, get out on the road, enjoy the weather while you can, keep it shiny side up, and I will see you next time. Now, to get onto the interstate. Oh, this is the part I hate the most.